Luton Town have officially completed the fairy tale. After beating Coventry City in the playoff final, they have fought their way from the Conference League all the way back to the Premier League. I love an underdog story, which is why I'm not going to let their success stop there. I am taking charge of Luton Town, and by the end of this video, I will be making them the best team in the world. So this is the current starting 11 I've loaded into, and I've got to be honest, for the Premier League, this team is in trouble. They do, however, have some decent players like Nakambe, Adebayo, and of course Mapansu, who's actually the first footballer to make it from non-league football to the Premier League with the same team. That is an outrageous stat. But the question is, will this team is it to stay in the Premier League this season? I don't think so. But the first thing we're going to do is switch this formation. I do not rock with 5 at the back, but I'm going to switch to a formation you're probably not expecting. I have gone for the 3-1-4-2 formation. We've got a CDM in the team. We've got a couple of centre midfielders, no cams, so this formation is literally perfect. Obviously, this means position changes are going to happen, which means Alfie Doughty is going from a wing back to a left midfielder, but luckily it only takes 2 weeks for that to happen. And I was thinking of converting Cody Drama to a right winger, but then I realised he's on loan to us, so it doesn't really matter. But now that we switch formations, the team doesn't really look any better for it, but I think that this will work for a couple of seasons. And obviously Luton Town have been promoted to the Premier League, so that's where we're going to be playing this season, but whether we're going to be playing there next season is a different story. And obviously with promotion comes a little bit more money to work with for the following season, meaning now giving us an extra 50 million to work with, giving us a total of 63 million to spend in season 1. Now I think it goes without saying we need a right midfielder to cover that position because Campbell just isn't going to cut it. But for the rest of the team, if I'm being completely honest, there's a lot of work that needs to be done with that 63 million to make sure that this team stays up. Now the first player I'm actually going to sign is Nakambe, who's on loan to us right now from Aston Villa, so I'm going to try and get him on a permanent deal. And for just over £4 million, we have signed our very first player in Nakambe. So that's our first signing out the way. We need to now focus on the rest of the team. Now I personally don't like our back three or our goalkeeper. If we want to survive our time in the Premier League this season, we definitely need to improve that part of the pitch. So for the goalkeeper, I'm going for someone with a lot of Premier League experience. Hugo Lloris from Tottenham Hotspur, 35 years old, 84 rated. I reckon he's got 1 or 2 good seasons left in him. And we have just got an absolute bargain as we have signed Hugo Lloris for only £4 million. And the first centre-back I'm bringing into the team, Trevor Chalobah, who's criminally underutilised at Chelsea, 6'3", 23 years old, 76 rated. I think he'd be a brilliant signing for Luton. And honestly, we got an incredible deal for Trevor Chalobah as we only spent £8.9 million to bring him to Luton. And because we're playing 3 at the back, we need centre-backs with a lot of pace, which is why Jeremiah St. Just is absolutely spot on. Just check how quick he is. And for £13.8 million, we have completed our 4th signing in this transfer window. So now that we've literally replaced our defensive line and goalkeeper, I'm actually a little more comfortable going into this season now. But we do still have £25 million to spend, and I'd be daft not to use it. So I'm thinking, obviously we bring in a right midfielder, but we also bring in a better centre midfielder for Clark, otherwise our midfield is going to get absolutely ran through. So starting with the winger, I'm going for a player who's actually leaving their club this season anyway. Lucas Moura is 29 years old, 77 rated. I think he'll definitely do the job for us for at least 2 or 3 seasons. And because he only had 12 months left on his contract, we only had to spend £7.5 million on him. And after that transfer, we only have £14 million to spend. And whilst we do have our winger situation sorted, we don't have a midfielder yet, and for £14 million, I don't think we can bring in anyone of actual value to this squad. So that leaves me with only one option. I'm going to the free agents list and hoping that these guys can sort me out. And we may genuinely be in luck. Luis Romo, 75 rated, 27 years old. I think he's absolutely spot on for what we need in that midfield. And it's official, we've got Luis Romo on a free. And with all these players officially signed for us, our transfer window is done. Which means this is the team heading into season 1 of the Premier League. I think I've done insanely well this window to bring 6 players into this team and improve it every single time. But here's the part I've been dreading. The season is just about to start. Is this squad capable of surviving the Premier League in its first season in it? Well boys, we've just arrived in January, and I'll be honest, I expected us to be in a worse position. We're 14th after 20 games. That is bloody impressive. And you know what? The stats aren't half bad as well. 7 goals for Adibo, 7 goals for Morris, 5 for Lucas Moura, and 3 for Luis Romo. Now we do still have 11 million in our budget. And looking at the team, it's obvious where the weakness is. Our midfield, more specifically Mpanzu. So as much as I hate saying this because this guy is an absolute legend, we are definitely going to have to replace him if we want to survive this season. And after a lot of searching, I think I found a suitable replacement. Manu Trigueros, who currently plays for Villarreal, is 31 years old, 78 rated. I think he's got a good season or 2 left in him. And after quite literally bankrupting ourselves, we have managed to sign him for £9.5 million. million. And by the way, I do mean we bankrupted ourselves. We've got £6 left in our transfer budget. I don't think that's ever been as low as that for me. But the important thing is we put that money to good use, and this is now the team that is going to finish off season 1. Now, as it stands, we are quite comfortably above the relegation zone, but that doesn't mean anything. What does matter is where we are at the end of the season. Boys, it's the end of the season, and we have survived by the skin of our teeth. We are 17th after 38 games. Honestly, I kind of expecting this, but seeing it in front of my eyes is a different story. Don't get me wrong, I think the squad's pretty solid, but 17th at the end of this season is kind of fitting for this team. And the stats definitely back that up. 15 goals for our top goal scorer, Adibo, and Lucas Moura actually surprising with 13 goals and 3 assists as well. But I think we've done pretty well. Season 1's sole objective, after all, was to keep Luton Town in the Premier League. But next year begins the journey of us taking Luton Town from fighting for survival for fighting for top 4. We are now into season 2, and taking a look at the squad, I think there's only a couple of areas we actually need to improve. So we certainly need a better centre-back for Lockie. He's by a mile the weakest link in this squad. Then we'll need a better striker partner for Adibo, and honestly, I'm thinking of bringing in a better CDM than the Canby. And to be fair, we've certainly got the money for it this year with 59 million to spend. And starting with the centre-back, I'm thinking of Jose Aitu. He's 6 foot, 81 rated. He's got absolutely incredible strength and jumping stats. I think he'd be a perfect fit. And Jose Aitu has become our most expensive player yet, as we have just had to pay out 20.9 million to sign him. As for the CDM, I'm going to try and bring in Tolisso. He's 28 years old, 80 rated. He currently plays in France. He's got that ability and experience that we need in our team. And we have once again just broken our transfer record fee, as we have just spent 21.9 million to bring in Tolisso. And after those signings, we only have 8 million left to spend this season. But we still need a striker, and 8 million is not going to bring us a striker better than Morris. So I'm once again going to the free agents list in the hopes I can find a striker that's good enough to fit the squad. And boys, I've just found the striker I want, Belotti, who did used to play for Roma. They've let him go for whatever reason. He's 29 years old, 79 rated. I think he'd be absolutely incredible for us. And with those 3 players now officially signed, our transfer window is done. And this is the squad going into season 2, and in comparison to last season, I've got to tell you, I am bloody very happy with how this team looks. It's a genuine mixture of youth, talent and experience all bundled into a team. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not expecting a top 4, top 6, top 8 or even a top 10 finish this year. What I want is just a better finish than 17th. And with this new and improved side, there is no reason why we can't achieve that. We're in January, boys, and there's big improvements. We are 11th in the league after 21 games. I know we're only halfway through the season, but I'm damn proud of this. And Belotti has turned out to be a cracking signing. 15 goals in 22 games is absolutely amazing for his first time in the Prem. But we only have 1 million to spend, so I don't think we're going to do anything in this window. Which means it's now up to these boys to keep this form up and keep this going until the end of the season. I can't lie though, I'm so impressed with Belotti. He's been the difference maker this year so far. But as it stands, we are 11th in the league, and I'm very curious to see where we actually end up at the end of this season. We've arrived at the end of this season, and I am buzzing with Luton Town. We have finished 12th in the league after 38 games. 5 places up from last year. I'd say that's a massive W. And I might be a bit biased, but a couple of more decent signings, we're looking at a top 10 finish next year. And it looks like I'm an absolute genius for signing Belotti on a free. 23 goals and 2 assists in 48 games for the lad. We have jumped from 17th in the league last year to 12th in the league this season. I think that is absolutely remarkable from us. We just have to keep making the necessary improvements, and we'll be in that top 4 position in no time. But before we go any further, if you're enjoying the video so far, leave it a big old thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. We're now into season 3 with Luton, and the board really like us. They've given us £56 million again. I'll say this, they must really believe in what I can do. Now it's just a case of where to spend that £56 million. And when you take a look at the team, there's 3 obvious areas that we need to improve. We certainly need a goalkeeper now because Hugo Lloris is retired. We'll need a centre midfielder for Trigueros because he's 32 years old now, and he's definitely going to be on the decline pretty soon. And we'll need a new winger in place of Doughty. I've given the guy enough chances to improve. I think he's stuck now at 76 rated, and that means we'll definitely need to improve that position. But with more than 50 million to spend again, I can't really see these positions being too much of an issue to sort out. And starting with the goalkeeper, I'm going for Argentinian Juan Mosso. He's 30 years old, 80 rated, currently plays for Atalanta, and he's only got 12 months left on his contract as well. And it's because of that we've been able to mug Atalanta right off, as we only spent 9 million bringing Mosso in. And for the winger, I'm going for someone who is criminally underrated. Callum Hudson-Odoi, who currently plays for Chelsea. He's still only 23 years old, and he's got bags of potential, and I want to unlock it. And he also had only 12 months left on his contract, meaning meaning we only had to pay out 19.5 million to make him a Luton Town player. And finally, for that midfielder, I am going for Luis Chavez, who is 80 rated at 28 years old, and I was actually going to sign him on a free in the first season, but I was too late to get to him. But I wasn't too late this time, as because he only had 12 months left on his contract, we only had to spend 15.5 million. And with these players now officially signed to us, our transfer window is done, which means this is the team going into season 3, and I've got to be honest with you, I am loving the amount of improvement we've been able to make in only 3 seasons. When I became the manager of Luton Town, there was no 80 rated players in the team. Now we've got 8 out of 11, and that starting 11 80 rated or above. I think that's amazing. And with us having a mid-table finish last year, with all the improvements we've made so far this season, I think a top 10 finish is definitely on the cards. We've just arrived in January, and this is looking pretty promising. We are 8th in the league after 20 games this season, and our strikers are pulling their weight this year. 13 goals for Adibo and 11 for Belotti as well. And to be honest, there's not really much we can do with 8 million in our transfer budget. So I'm going to put my full faith in this starting 11 in the hopes that these guys can get us a top 10 finish this season. I don't know why they've all got a face on them though. Every single year they've just been improving. They need to bloody cheer up. As it stands, we're 8th in the league, and quite frankly, that is just amazing. But you never know what can happen at the end of the season. We may potentially get European football next year. We've just arrived in May, and we were so damn close. We finished 8th at the end of this season. You know what? Even though it was an 8th place finish, I'm still bloody proud of the boys. I think in order to get top 6 or top 4 football, something needs to change, and I don't think it's anything to do with the boys either. Honestly, our striker partnership is incredible. 29 for Belotti and 23 for Adibo. They have showed up. But like I've just said, I think in order to get top 6 and top 4 football, we need to change something in this team, and I'm going to do something about it in season 4. We're now into season 4, and like I said last year, I want to change some things up with this team. Now, our 2 strikers are the only players getting double digits in goals and assists by the end of each season, and I think that's solely down to the formation. Now, I'm not going to make a drastic formation change. I'm sticking with the 3 at the back, but instead I'm going for the 3-5-2. We've got a central attacking midfielder allowing a bit more attacking creativity, and we still got our 2 centre defensive midfielders in front of our defenders. Now, obviously, we're going to go for a new central attacking midfielder because of this formation change, and I'm also going to go for a new winger in Lucas Moira because he's 78 rated now. He's going to be on the decline pretty soon. And for whatever reason, we've been given 117 million to spend. And for that attacking midfielder, I want Daichi Kamari. He's 28 years old, 83 rated, and what really stood out to me is his short passing and attacking positioning stats. They're great, and I think that'll bode well for the team. And because he only had 12 months left on his contract, we were able to mug Frankfurt right off, as we only spent 24.5 million on him. And for the winger, I'm going for someone I've never actually used before on career mode, Marco Asensio, who currently plays for Manchester United. He's 29 years old, 83 rated. He's got some bloody brilliant stats as well. And we actually got a great deal for Marco Asensio, as we only spent 31 million. And even after those transfers, we still have 50 million in our transfer budget, and I think I'd be stupid not to spend that money. And looking at the team, our biggest weakness is actually our goalkeeper, Mosu, who's 81 rated, so I'm going to bring in a better goalkeeper than him. And I have found the perfect goalkeeper, Alex Ramiro, who's 30 years old, 85 rated. He's 6'4" and he's got less than 12 months on his contract as well. And because of that, we only had to spend 29.2 million to make Alex Ramiro a Luton Town player. With these 3 players officially signed, our transfer window is done, which means this is the team heading into season 4, and I truly believe this is the squad that's going to get us European football next year. It's honestly crazy how far we've come in only 4 seasons with Luton. Now, last year we finished 8th place, just outside the top 6, so this year we are definitely gunning for that top 6 position. Okay, it's official. FIFA 23 is broken. We're somehow in the Europa League. We didn't finish in the top 6. We didn't win the FA Cup, so I'd love to know how we pulled this one off. But you know what? This is just a pure gift from EA, in my opinion. We're in Group D alongside RC Lens, Ghent, and also Young Boys. And honestly, with the quality we've got in our team, I'm pretty sure we should be topping this group. We've just arrived in January, and it's looking pretty decent. We're 6th in the league after 20 games, and do you know what? I wouldn't put it past us to reach a top 4 position by the end of the season. We've also topped Group D in the Europa League with absolutely flying colours. And Belotti is still an absolute don. 22 goals, 2 assists in 28 games. At 32 years old, this guy is still a demon in front of goal. And unfortunately, with only 16 million, there's not really a great deal we can do with that money. Which means this is the starting 11 that is going to end season 4. And I truly can't think of a good reason why this team can't get top 4 football by the end of this season. We're already 6th in the league halfway through the season, so you never know what can happen. Boys, I cannot believe what I'm about to tell you. We've somehow won the Premier League with Luton Town in season season 4. How we pulled this off, I don't know. We were actually level on points with Arsenal, and we beat them by having a better goal difference, man. This is absolutely mental. But regardless, you know what this means, don't you? We are finally qualified for the Champions League. Don't get me wrong, this team is good, but it should not be winning the Premier League yet. Unless it's because they changed the formation. In that case, I'm just a genius. But boys, wait till you see these stats. 37 goals and 16 assists for Belotti, 30 goals and 11 assists for Kamada, 23 and 16 for Adebayo, and Asensio with 12 and 11. That formation change worked. It has taken us 4 seasons, but we're finally in the Champions League. We've got to make some world-class signings next season, otherwise we're just going to get swamped in that competition. But hang on, wait a minute, I need to have a chat with you. So basically, at the start of Season 5, I got sacked. These were my manager rating and objectives at the end of Season 4, and these were them at the start of Season 5. Now, I tried everything possible to save this rebuild, and I actually succeeded, but it did come with a little bit of a price. I managed to get the Luton Town job once again at the end of Season 5, so going into Season 6, I have no idea what this team looks like. So this should be very interesting. So we are back in charge of Luton Town. It's currently Season 6, and we all started with some good news, as we've got 137 million to spend. Now, I don't know what Luton accomplished last season, but they've done well to get that amount of money. I can't actually believe it. They've sold Adebayo. What in God's name were they thinking? They've also sold Iden, replaced him with Milinkovic, and to be fair, I aren't actually mad at that. That's not a bad deal. And they have got rid of every bit of squad depth we had. We are literally down to the bare minimum now. Honestly, this game is so shit. But these are the cards that FIFA have dealt us, so we've just got to work with what we've got. The first thing I'm going to have to do is put both Belotti and Tolisso on the transfer list. They're both in their early 30s, and let's be honest, their overall is definitely going to go down halfway through the season. And don't ask me how, but together we saw Belotti and Tolisso for over 125 million, bringing our budget to 260 million. Now that money I can definitely put to good use. Now the first thing I'm doing is bringing back a player that AI sold, Elijah Adebayo. He's 29 years old, 84 rated. There was no way I was continuing this without this guy. And for 44.8 million, we brought Adebayo home to Luton Town. And after that transfer, we still have over 210 million left, so let's properly take a look at the team and see where we can put this money. Now, one thing's fairly certain from looking at the team, we need a better striker partner for Adebayo. 76 rated Morris just isn't going to cut the mustard. And obviously, we'll need a CDM to replace Tolisso. Once we've sorted that out, we'll come back to the team and go from there. And to partner up with Adebayo, I'm actually going for Hugo Ekitike. He's 25 years old, 84 rated. He's got some absolutely incredible stats to go with it as well. And for 53.8 million, we made Hugo Ekitike a Luton Town player. And to replace Tolisso, I'm going for Salis Abdul Samed, who currently plays for Palace. He's 5'10", 84 rated. He's got some very impressive stats to go with it too. And we managed to sign him on a 5-year contract for a grand total of 42.4 million. So now that we've got our second striker and our CDM sorted, we can now focus on the rest of the squad. Now, honestly, there's only one real weakness I see in this team, and that is actually Milinkovic. If we get a better centre-back than him, we are sorted. And I have found the centre-back I want. Pau Torres, who currently plays for Liverpool, is 6'3", 87 rated. He's an absolute monster of a man. And I do believe he is our most expensive signing yet, coming in at 66.6 million. And we do still have 32 million, but I'm going to save that until January. Which means this is the team going into our first season back in charge of Luton. Honestly, considering how much the AI messed up our hard work, I think we've done pretty well to recover from it. This team actually looks really good, and when you consider the last season we were in charge of Luton, we won the Premier League with them. This team blows that team out of the water, so surely that's our target this season. And I'll give the AI credit, they must have done something right last season. We're in the Champions League this year in Group D alongside Stade Rennais, Feyenoord and FCSB. And quite frankly, I know for a fact our team's better than the rest of them, so I'm definitely expecting us to top this group easily. And boys, we've just arrived in January and it's looking pretty sick in the Premier League. We're second in the league after 21 games. And I must admit, I'm disappointed at this. We finished second in Group D, 1 point behind Stade Rennais, but it doesn't matter really because we are into the round of 16 regardless. And our top goal scorer is actually Kamada with 17 goals and 12 assists. That's almost a goal contribution a game for the lad. Now, we do still have 33 million to spend. And quite honestly, that starting 11 is not getting changed. I'm going to focus that money on our subs bench. Now, we do only have 30 million, bear in mind, so we can't spend money on every single position. So I'm thinking we bring in a better centre-back, and we certainly bring in a better central attacking midfielder. And starting with the centre-back, I'm going for Konstantinos Mavropanos, who's 30 years old, 83 rated. He's 6'4", and he is absolutely rapid. And for just 21.15 million, we signed him on a 3-year deal. And for the camera roll, I found a free agent who looks bloody damn good. Lennart Kaiser, who's 19 years old, he's 78 rated, he's got a value of 23.5 million, so I think we're getting a baller here. And with only 8 million left to spend, that's our transfer window done. Which means this is the team going into the knockouts of the Champions League. I'm honestly so happy with what we've been able to do since returning to Luton. The starting 11 is absolutely insane. The source bench is actually pretty stacked with quality too. In Season 4, we won the Premier League with Luton Town, and it was a far worse team than this is, so I'm thinking we've got a pretty decent chance of winning the Champions League this year. And after just making it past Barcelona in the round of 16 and just scraping past Atletico in the quarters, we are in the semi-finals. Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, and now Man City in the semi-finals. We seriously haven't had an easy run in the knockouts, have we? And City's team is just as you'd expect. It's absolutely disgusting, but if we want to get to the final, we have to go through them first. First leg away from home, and it's a 2-2 win. Asensio and St. Just. Boys, we are one game away from that final. We are one more good result away from that Champions League final. We are already 2-0 up on aggregate. A draw will literally do it, boys. A draw will literally... Oh my God. We lost 2-1, but because we scored one goal, we have put ourselves through to the Champions League final at long last. And just look who we're playing in the final. PSG, the Thanos of the Champions League, the final boss themselves. And we did finish the Premier League second place. It was a decent run, but I don't see how we didn't win it this year with a far superior team than we had last year. But we did beat Chelsea to win the Community Shield 2-1. Kamada, take a bow. 27 goals and 17 assists from a cam roll is an amazing achievement. And not only that, 24 and 18 for Asensio. Both our strikers gained 22 apiece, and Hudson has only gained 15 and 15 as well. And this is the monstrosity that we have created with Luton Town. Just take a look at how good it is. And a very big shout out to Adebayo, who's been with us since Season 1. He's turned into a monster, 85 rated. I'm going to do my absolute best to get him a Champions League trophy. We have seriously been through it with Luton, spent 4 seasons with them, got them avoiding relegation, won the Premier League with them in our final season in charge, then for some reason got bloody sacked. We then got rehired with them, won the Community Shield, the Carabao Cup, and now we are going to try our best to prove that we are the best team in the world by winning the Champions League. Oh no, Kylian Mbappe's through already. Oh, get it out, get it out, get it out. That is the worst possible start we could have had. 5 minutes in and we are already 1-0 down. I absolutely cannot defend with this 3 at the back formation. Chavez, he's got a bit of open room. He's going to take the shot. Donnarumma with a hand to eat. Hudson-Odoi on the corner. Make it a good one. That's a great ball. Shalabah! What a save again! Adebayo, he's seen that run. Asensio, open on his right foot. And he has smashed that past Donnarumma. You're not saving that one, are you lanky shit? I'm pretty sure if we could defend half as well as we attack with this formation, we'd be unstoppable. Jesus is in behind. Jeremiah St. Just. He has got the pace for days, but he's given... Oh my... That is an absolutely... insane save from Ramiro. Ekitike against Amadozic. Can he slot it top? Oh my God. Ekitike, what are you doing? Oh no, Mbappe's through down the middle. Mbappe! This formation is absolutely awful for defending, man. He's just gone through our defense like a hot knife through butter. It's like I said, if we could defend, no team on planet Earth would be able to beat this team, but we can't, so we are absolutely shocking. Okay, this is nice. This is nice. Look at the return. Ekitike. Oh, he's going to dink him. That one, you didn't miss. That one, you didn't screw up. And we are level once again with PSG. Jeremiah St. Just. Oh, my Lord. Look at the pace on the guy. Oh, what a ball. Adebayo. Oh, my God. Jeremiah St. Just with an absolutely pitch-perfect ball to Adebayo. And he just doesn't make a mistake about that. And he slots it in the back of the net. Adebayo, we need to get this ball. Oh, that is a phenomenal touch from Ekitike. And this could be the game killer. We have done it. 4-2. Ekitike against his former club has maybe just put the nail in the coffin for PSG's chances in this game. I mean, at this point, if we actually concede 2 goals in 10 minutes, we don't deserve to win the Champions League. Against his former club, where's he going to go? He's been dispossessed pretty comfortably by Renato, but it doesn't matter. Luton Town 4, PSG 2. We have made the fairy tale come true. Luton Town are the best team in the world. It has taken us technically 6 seasons to take Luton from the bottom of the barrel in the Premier League to making them the Champions League winners. And if you enjoyed this, you should click somewhere right here to watch another one of my videos. You may as well, you're still here.